So today I'm going to share with you a recipe, probably my favorite recipe that I do in an electric pressure cooker. There's many different brands and I can't really tell a big difference. So it's a chili. Last night I soaked my beans in the pot and then I took the beans out and I rinsed them. This is actually 3 cups of beans because I want to show you how much 3 cups of beans are. They swell up. You can also use canned beans. So I like using the beans. It's quite a bit cheaper and I don't like opening all the cans. So it's a win-win for me. And I soak them. I've read, and I don't know, but it's the difference between soaking them and not soaking them is if you soak them, the beans stay together nicer when they're cooked. One time I was living in Tulsa. I was working with a church group, and we gathered, and then we were having a potluck a few hours later. And I think it was a potato bar or something like that, and the person who signed up to do the chili brought 1 little can of chili for probably about 70 people. So I went home in that 2 hours, I was able to put the dry beans in, all the ingredients in, cook it, and have it back to the church probably in an hour and a half. So it's really a fast way to do chili. I like just using 1 pot. So I soak the beans, put them in here and rinse them, and then I brown the meat. Just put it on the hot setting without any pressure. And then I'm going to add the beans back in. Also, if you do the canned beans, you don't really need the pressure cooker. Just brown your hamburger, dump everything in, and cook it up. And then I browned 2 pounds of hamburger. So there's now a cup and a half of pinto beans and a cup and a half of kidney beans and 2 pounds of beef in here already. And then I add 15 ounces, one of these larger cans of tomato sauce. And then I fill it up again with water. I'm doing it from picture because I don't want to go to my sink. And then I do another 8 ounce, the regular smaller size of tomato sauce. And then fill it up with water. It also helps you get all the tomato sauce out of it. Next, one cup of dried onion, fresh chopped onion. And you could use dried onion or whatever. And all these amounts, it depends on what you like. How spicy you like, different things your family doesn't like or likes. This is a half a cup of chopped celery. And then there's just the spices. So I use the cumin. It's 1.5 teaspoons, which is the same thing as 1/2 a tablespoon. Because there's 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. So it's 1.5 teaspoon or 1/2 a tablespoon. And then of the chili sauce, it takes, I usually do 1 to 2, I'll do 2. You can put more. It's something you just have to decide. You can put chilies in it if you like it really spicy, a jalapeno in there. I don't, so I won't. And then it takes 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Now, I know this doesn't look like pepper, but it was a big thing and big container, and I didn't have room in my cupboard. So I just put it in garlic salt container and wrote pepper on it. So I know what it is, and my family knows what it is. So that's 1/4 of a cup. Again, you could put a little more in it if you like it spicier. And then a teaspoon and a half of salt, which is the same as 1/2 a tablespoon. Okay. So that's all there is to it. I forgot to tell you, you do need to stir it. And I thought I'd actually demonstrate how you do this Instapot. They're all a little different. It's stirred. I'm going to put on the lid. I'm going to plug it in. Okay, and I'm going to do fast cooking and go down 5 minutes. You need to make sure it stays tight and this little valve in the correct position. So I'm cooking it at full pressure for about 5 minutes. It's a little bit of a misnomer in that it takes a while for it to heat up and boil and come to the pressure. And so once it's up, it'll start timing for 5 minutes. And then I will turn it off and let it just sit until I need it. Years ago, when I lived in California, I was in charge also in a youth church group, up into the mountains to play in the snow. They were kids who didn't get to go to the snow very often, and so they were looking forward to this, and I was assigned to bring the lunch. They suggested I make sandwiches for everyone, and there's probably 25 people, and I thought, do I want to make 25 sandwiches? And we were leaving first thing in the morning, I think 8 or something, and so I didn't want to get up too early and make the chili, so I had everything pre-measured, and I did all spices in a little Ziploc bag all together for each one. I had the hamburger all browned. I had the beans all soaking in the pots. So when I got up in the morning, first thing, probably about 7, and rinsed the beans, put it all together, cooked it until it was cooked for the 5 minutes, and then it was time to go. So I grabbed the pots, and they hook on. And so I grabbed the pots, put in the back of our car, along with some carrot sticks, some cookies that I made earlier, and some club crackers, and one of the small tables that you can fold in half, and put them all in the back of my car, and then drove up there. And when it was time, I popped out the table, put the pots of chili out, had the bowls ready. In the back of the car, I opened up the hatchback and put out the cookies, and well, I didn't right away because they were kids, but I put out the crackers and the carrot sticks and stuff, and hot chocolate in a big thermos thing. I'd made hot chocolate. So we only had the parking lot in order to eat, so I put it behind my car and was able to have it all out there, and it was piping hot, just fresh. By lunchtime, it kept it very perfect for eating. I even had 2 kids who said they didn't like chili, and I said, oh, sorry, there's some crackers and some carrot sticks and hot chocolate. And so they tried it, and both of them ate, I think, 2 bowls of chili. So anyway, I will be back and show you the end product. Okay, it's about a little over about an hour later. It's hot, beans are soft. So I'm gonna serve up some chili. It's a good amount of meat to the beans. It's gonna be hot. Just the way I like it. I just can't quite believe how fast it is to do with one of these pots and how soft the beans are. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks.